Since, Nashville had a school shooting, would it be an option to move their assignment?
Team coverage continues now as Fox 17 News asks Metro Police if the department could reassign officers to put a school resource officer at every elementary school.
Right now, the rub is, as we just laid out, police simply don't have the people to cover all those elementaries. Fox 17 News' Kaitlin Miller live now at Metro's downtown police precinct, continuing to work to get some answers.
Yes, Scott and Megan. Well, Metro Police say that they don't have the bodies right now to fill these new positions, which would be in elementary schools. And they say that they can't leave other areas uncovered. Metro Police say they will staff all MNPS middle and high schools with SROs. But they say they don't have enough officers to fill 70 elementary schools. So I called Metro Police today. Like if there's trouble hiring or having the funding to hire new officers, since, Nashville had a school shooting, would it be an option to move their assignment? Metro Police say due to staffing issues, they cannot reassign current officers to leave, let's say a traffic officer position, to become a school resource officer in order to prioritize the safety of students and teachers. I had follow-up questions. And is anyone available to do an interview? Metro Police declined my interview and say they put their resources where needed. J.C. Bowman, CEO of Professional Educators of Tennessee, says Metro schools and Metro Police need to at least get the process started.
We're going to start the school year without enough teachers. We already know that, but we're going to still start the school year. So if you're short and you can't put them in 6 or 7 schools, that's fine. Bowman was a teacher for several years and says keeping children and staff safe in schools should be their #1 priority, to hopefully keep another tragedy like Covenant from happening in Nashville. Had there been somebody on staff right there on site that had been able to confront that, we may have saved all those lives. Bowman commends Metro Police for doing an amazing job at Covenant, but says now there needs to be an armed officer on every school campus.
That funding is available for one full-time SRO at every public school, but it's essentially useless if they don't have the personnel to give it to. And MNPD says they just don't have the staff for it. State grant funding allows districts to apply for up to $75,000 per school to cover salary and benefits for one full-time SRO. MNPS has 70 elementary schools eligible for more than $5 million in grant funds. But MNPD says they don't have full-time officers assigned to elementary schools, making them ineligible for funding. It's disappointing for parent Morgan Barth, who has 3 kids in Metro schools.
They passed this law and they made a lot of money available. And it doesn't speak well of us that we are not in a position to take advantage of that money, because vast majority of Nashville parents want it.
MNPD staffs 1 SRO at every middle school and 2 at each high school. The department is applying for more than $3 million in these funds to cover those existing positions. But the department says they don't have the staff to cover 70 new SROs. The latest data from MNPD shows they're about 100 officers short out of more than 1,600 budgeted positions, a 6% vacancy rate.
It's a real shame that you're understaffed so much that you can't do this, and you even need to turn down over $5 million from the state to help pay for it. And that just seems like it is a failure in terms of elected leadership over the last couple of years.
MNPD says they'll continue their school safety initiative from last year, where officers periodically patrol outside of elementary schools in an overtime capacity. The department's goal is to have full-time SROs in elementary schools as more officers are hired and trained. There's no expiration date to the grant funding.